Well, joining me now to take a closer look at what makes these concerts go boom or bust is Allyson Toy, aka DJ Toy. She joins us now live from Shanghai. Welcome.
Hi, thanks for having me on.
If you could talk a little bit about what kinds of trends you're
I'd say
seeing
music
in
festivals are
China, that's where I'd love for you to start. You're well on your way.
Sure enough, sure enough. Yeah, so I think definitely for all genres of music, not just rock music, and especially within the last year or so, hip-hop music has become widely popular at festivals. I think here in China, we're seeing a lot more festivals in not just major cities, in some secondary and tertiary cities out here as well. And a lot of them are growing in size, but not all of them sort of are here to stay in a way.
Can you talk a little bit about how,
I'd say overall, I think...
How does increased access to songs via iPhone, streaming services, that type of thing, how does that play into building an audience for these types of events in China?
Sure. I mean, I think it works here not so differently as it does in the rest of the world, right? Where music streaming services sort of allow, mobile users especially, and just people generally to listen to music, access more music. I think that's really opened up the demand a lot for international artists to come visit these festivals too, as well as just kind of promoting domestic artists who tend to fill most of these bills, yeah.
Do artists have to tour to make money?
I'm sorry, can you say that again?
I was just asking if artists have to tour to make money.
Yeah, I'd say so, definitely. Here in China, if we're speaking of domestic artists, not unlike how it works in a lot of the rest of the world, touring makes up a big part of that revenue pie, right? And festivals are a big chunk of it. Usually they pay a bit more than, a date at a live house and whatnot. I think here in China, there are a good amount of artists making money off of recorded music, but I think it still tends to lag a bit behind what you might see in the West. So festivals and touring definitely account for, I'd say, a larger portion of most artists' revenue out here.
What about ticket prices for these festivals? Are they affordable for the average concert goer, or are they getting too expensive at this point to include the majority of the public?
Sure, I think for general admission tickets, most of them are still more expensive than a show that you would go to at a traditional venue, but generally affordable for a middle class, upper middle class young person, right? I think where it does start to get really expensive, you see, is in VIP packages and sort of enhanced experiences and whatnot, whether that's preferred seating or some kind of package that involves travel and some sort of special experience and whatnot. But by and large, I think I've been actually pleasantly surprised at how generally affordable they are to the public.
One thing that someone mentioned in the piece that came before you was the idea that they are traveling with big groups to these events. Have we seen an increase in these drawing people from a larger sphere, a larger area?
Yeah, I think festivals are definitely, for some, especially in smaller cities, kind of treated as a destination. It's sort of an occasion, right? I think for a lot of young Chinese people, this is sort of a new phenomenon in a way, right? Where in the West, we've kind of had this, multiple generations of going to festivals. There was Woodstock, our parents' generation sort of knew how to do this and everything. And so there's a degree of novelty around it that does kind of inspire people to travel from other cities, especially if there is, maybe a big artist that they don't expect to come to their home city, or an international artist or something that doesn't come to China quite often. I think this definitely really kind of rallies people to go and check out a festival outside of their hometown.
And what do we know about the profit these festivals are making? It often takes years for some of them to make a profit. Is it basically the same in the Chinese market?
It's definitely the same in the Chinese market. Yeah, I think you know, by and large, it's hard to come by a lot of these figures, but I know a lot of the festivals that are sort of bigger and popular here are not unlike in the West, subsidized against sponsorship dollars and whatnot. You know, I think it does take several years to become profitable, and a lot of them don't quite get to that point. So I think what we've seen in this kind of newer festival market out here is an abundance of newer, younger festivals that kind of come and go. You know, there are a couple notable ones that have been around for less than 5 years and kind of, you know, get swept under the rug afterwards. So I think a lot of that has to do with, you know, the sponsorship amounts that they're able to close, and the fact that the festival business is quite difficult to subsidize against ticket prices only.
Sounds like it's
I think,
the same everywhere.
So another thing that's notable is
DJ Toy, we're going to have to leave it there, but thank you so much for coming in.
Is like